Morning students. Today we are taking a topic that is magnetic dipole moment of revolving electron. Basically we know that in atom electron revolve around nucleus. So when electron is moving in this direction, current will flow in opposite direction. As we all know, current is due to movement of electrons, but direction of motion of electron is opposite to that of current. So a revolving electron, it is like a loop of current which has definite magnetic moment. As we have discussed in my previous video that basically when electron is moving, correspondingly the loop will have current flowing in that direction. If electron is moving in anti-clockwise direction, you can see here it is moving in anti-clockwise direction, then current in the loop is in clockwise direction. Now if upper face of the loop act as, see here, if upper face of the loop is having clockwise current, so it will have south polarity develop, and the lower face will have north polarity develop. So due to movement of charge within this loop, current is developed, and this current is given by electron per unit time, within the time with which this electron is moving. So current is charge per unit time, as well as omega is given by 2 pi upon t. So t can be taken as 2 pi upon omega. Now substitute time here in this first equation. So I will be equal to E omega upon 2 pi, because we have substituted this value of t. So 2 pi upon omega, omega will come in the numerator. Now as we are taking this loop, so area of this loop, area of this orbit, let me represent it by A. So if r is the radius of this area, this orbit, you can say, so it will be pi r square will be its area. Now as current is flowing in this loop due to the movement of electron, it will have its magnetic dipole moment. So what will be the magnetic moment of the atom? Magnetic moment of atom is given by I into A. So I is E omega upon 2 pi into A is pi r square. So pi will cancel out. We are getting E omega r square upon 2. So this will be the magnetic moment of atom due to the movement of electron. So now we know, according to Bohr's theory, electron in an atom revolve only in some stationary orbit. Electron in an atom revolve only in stationary orbit in which its angular momentum, this is a condition we are taking, you have learned this condition in chemistry also, that here angular momentum of electron is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. So how can we write it in statement? That angular momentum is m v r, this is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi. So basically we will substitute the value of v here in terms of omega. See, step by step, this all is mathematical steps. So here omega r square is nh upon, this is 2 pi m. M here come in the denominator. Now here, as we have calculated omega r square, so magnetic moment we have already obtained. This was E omega r square upon 2. Now omega r square we have calculated. So from there I will substitute its value as nh upon 2 pi m. So I will rearrange it. I will get n into EH upon 4 pi m. So magnetic moment, it will comes out to be n times this factor, where this factor, E electronic charge, H Planck's constant, m mass. So basically this is replaced by a constant. This constant, this is taken as Bohr's magneton, right? And this Bohr's magneton will have constant value 9.27 10 raised to the power minus 24 ampere meter square. This will have the same unit as that of magnetic moment because n is simply a integer. So m is mu b into n. That means magnetic moment expressed in terms of Bohr magneton comes out to be this one. So from here, how can we define this Bohr's magneton? This is the minimum magnetic dipole moment associated with an atom due to orbital motion of electron in first stationary orbit of the atom. See, minimum magnetic moment, if I will take n to be 1, so I will take that it is minimum magnetic moment associated with an atom due to orbital motion of electron in first stationary orbit of atom. So this particular derivation part, in this basically sometimes magnetic moment can be derived, that can be asked, as well as hence define Bohr's magneton. So from there you can define this Bohr's magneton. Now after this, as we have discussed Gauss law in electrostatic, now here we will study in brief Gauss law in magnetism. Basically, as here according to it, net magnetic flux through any closed surface is always 0. What is the meaning? As we simply say, according to it, net magnetic flux through any closed surface is always 0. It means for any surface, number of magnetic field lines that is leaving any closed surface is equal to number of field lines entering it. It means जितनी field lines बाहर जा रही हैं उतनी ही field lines अंदर आ रही हैं. और इसको अगर हम मैथमेटिकल फॉर्म में देखें, एक्चुअली जैसे आपने किया था इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक में, दैट फ्लक्स इज गिवन बाय इन दैट वाज E dot ds. Likewise, flux in integration form for magnetism I will define like this, right? And see, in that case electric flux was given by Q by epsilon naught, where Q was the charge, but here instead of charge we are talking about pole strength. We have already discussed no monopole can exist. Poles always exist in pair. It means even a small portion of a small magnet, it will have both the poles. No magnet can exist with single pole. So it means if I will replace it, it will be like mu naught into m. That is pole strength of one pole. It can be north pole plus mu naught into pole strength of south pole, because both poles have, suppose this is north pole, this is south pole, so both the poles have same polarity, but from one pole field line is entering, from other pole field line is exiting. So that means this negative sign indicate opposite polarity. So it means net result comes out to be 0. So what we conclude, that as no monopole exists, so magnetic flux for any closed surface is always 0. It physically means that जितनी number of field lines surface से pass कर रही हैं, that is entering, it will be same as that of exiting. So this is in brief Gauss law in magnetism. Now next is potential energy of magnetic dipole in magnetic field. See, this concept you have done in electrostatic also. So in the same way you will proceed here, as it is defined as the energy possessed by a dipole due to its particular position in the field. So if we assume that a magnetic dipole of dipole moment m it is held when uniform magnetic field at an angle theta with the field. So I am taking this result directly as we have explained this result in torque acting on a coil placed in magnetic field. So that is also same result we are getting. Torque is mb sin theta. So this torque tend to along the dipole in the direction of the field. So it means if some work has to be done in rotating the dipole, so that work done in rotating the dipole against torque, it is stored as potential energy of the dipole. So first of all, what we will do? We will calculate small work done. Small work done in rotating the dipole through small angle d theta. It will be given by mb sin theta into d theta. So this is a small work done. Suppose a magnetic dipole we are taking within the small field, within the same uniform field, but it is rotated through a small angle d theta. So now total work done can be obtained by integrating it, that is small work done within the limits theta 1 to theta 2. So now this will be mb. Integration will be of sin theta within the limits theta 1, theta 2. Now integration of sin theta, this is minus cos theta, right? So when I will just put the value, it will be cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. So this work done, this will appear as potential energy of magnetic dipole in uniform magnetic field. Now here we discuss some special cases. See, if theta is 90 degree, basically if we are taking theta is 90 degree, correspondingly in this result now, so there are two angles. Let we are taking theta 1 to be 90 degree and theta to be another angle. It means initially if the dipole is perpendicular to magnetic field and then rotated through theta, so in that particular case this potential energy will be minus mb cos theta minus 0. It means minus mb cos theta, right? So this will be one particular case when initially dipole is perpendicular to the field and then rotated through any angle. Now within it, if theta is 0 degree, like here I am putting theta to be 0, so potential energy will be here minus mb. That means it will be minimum. It will have minimum value, and this will be the condition of stable equilibrium. See here, as we know, direction of dipole moment is from south to north, and if magnetic field is directed parallel to this magnetic moment, so in that case this will be in the stable condition, because magnetic field lines outside a magnet, that is from north to south pole, and within inside it is from south to north pole. So this magnetic moment and magnetic field are parallel. It will not get disturbed. But if theta is 180 degree, so in that case potential energy will have its maximum value, right? So this is the condition of unstable equilibrium. So now this is, if I am taking unstable equilibrium, that means if I will just reverse the direction of this magnetic moment, because I am taking here magnetic field opposite to direction of magnetic moment. Now same polarity will, here magnetic field lines always outside are always from north to south, so same poles will repel. That means it is condition of unstable equilibrium. Unstable equilibrium means it is trying to attain its equilibrium position. Stability attain करना है. Whereas in this case, it is in the stable condition. It is not be affected. It will remain as such. And if theta is equal to 90 degree, so in that case cos 90 is 0. So no potential energy exists. So this is potential energy of magnetic dipole in magnetic field. Now after this we are taking magnetic effect of Earth. See, basically here we have considered that Earth has its magnetic behavior. So in 1600 William Gilbert suggested Earth is behaving like a huge magnet. So what are the basic evidences he has taken in support it? Basically, when a magnet was suspended, see, when a piece of magnet is taken and it is suspended, so it will rest always in this north-south direction. This may, what does it conclude? That as if it behaves like if this is Earth and if the magnet is lying in north-south direction, it means as if there is some magnet is buried inside it, right? So these are simply the evidences. See, actually in terms of when we talk about Earth magnetism, some theories were discussed, some points have been discussed, and recently also some work has been some points have also been worked on. So here, if नॉर्थ पोल, अब इसमें बिहेवियर कैसा था, हमें तो लग रहा है कि नॉर्थ पोल कहाँ लाई कर रहा है. ये पॉइंट बच्चों को कई बार कंफ्यूजन रहता है कि वेयर द नॉर्थ पोल लाई, वेयर द साउथ पोल ऑफ द मैग्नेट विल लाई. बेसिकली इट बिहेव्स एज इफ नॉर्थ पोल ऑफ फिक्टिशियस मैग्नेट मस्ट बी टुवर्ड्स ज्योग्राफिकल साउथ टू अट्रैक्ट साउथ पोल, राइट. इट मीन्स एक ऐसा बिहेवियर लगा कि अगर एक बार मैग्नेट को सस्पेंड किया गया तो शायद अर्थ के अंदर एक ऐसा मैग्नेट है जिसकी पोलैरिटी ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में है, यानी उस अंदर वाले मैग्नेट की पोलैरिटी रिवर्स है. हालांकि लास्ट में दिस पॉइंट वाज नॉट कंसीडर्ड, दिस वाज जस्ट अ कॉन्सेप्चुअल पॉइंट, दिस वाज नॉट हैविंग एनी रियलिटी. So actually Earth is having its magnetism. Just one evidence was given that it is, whenever a magnet has been resting, it is always resting in north-south direction. So assumption that was existing of huge buried magnet inside the Earth, that is not possible. Another evidence was, see, when a soft iron piece, it is buried inside the Earth, it acquires magnetic behavior after some time. So it means, it was concluded that as when a magnetic substance is brought under, it is buried inside the Earth, it is attaining magnetic behavior. We simply see this when iron piece, nickel piece is placed in contact with the magnet, then it will acquire magnetic behavior. So same way it was assumed, it was come into the picture that in Earth there exists some magnetism. Third, when we draw field lines means magnetic field lines, we come across neutral point. See, neutral point क्या होता है? Neutral point एक ऐसा point हुआ कि जहाँ पर अर्थ का मैग्नेटिक फील्ड और एक बार मैग्नेट का मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, यानी किसी पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पे एक दोनों के कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग उनका इफेक्ट नलीफाई हो जाए. That means that is magnetic field lines due to magnet is cancelled by magnetic field of Earth. दिस इज अ न्यूट्रल पॉइंट, यानी कोई एक ऐसा पॉइंट एग्जिस्ट करता है जहां पे हम मैग्नेटिक मटेरियल जो भी ले रहे हैं, मैग्नेट जो ले रहे हैं, उसका मैग्नेटिक फील्ड कैंसिल हो रहा है, दैट इज जीरो. इट मीन्स दैट इज काउंटर बैलेंस्ड बाय सम अदर मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. वो किसका हो सकता है? अर्थ का हो सकता है. सो दीज आर द 3 पॉइंट्स दैट कंक्लूड दैट मैग्नेटिज्म ऑफ अर्थ एग्जिस्ट, बट actual theory was not coming to the picture. This is not so that the huge magnet is buried. So what can be the possible causes? So the possible causes of magnetism, that is, according to Professor Brackett, Earth magnetism, it is due to rotation of Earth. This is a very important point. We all know that Earth is rotating about its axis. So every matter, it is consisting of some charged particles. जब ये rotate करेगा, rotate करने से क्या होगा? Current circulate हो जाएगा. See, we have discussed in magnetic effect of current also कि when the charge is moving, current is flowing in the opposite direction, and when current is flowing, then magnetic field lines are generating all around. So what is said by Professor Brackett? That it is due to rotation of Earth, as every matter consists of charged particles, and rotation of Earth about any axis, it is equivalent to circulating current. This is particularly responsible for magnetism. So this can be the solid explanation, cause of Earth magnetism. Second point, in the outer layer of Earth atmosphere, gases are present in their ionized state due to cosmic rays. So electric current is produced due to movement of ions. Basically 2-3 points which we are going to discuss here in all, because as maybe some ionic parts are present, gases are ionized, in ionized form are present, but that all is that magnetic effect is only due to the rotation of Earth, so that these particles, these also rotate along with rotation of Earth, and hence magnetic field is produced. One more point was discussed, that Earth core is hot and molten. So when Earth rotates, what happens, that circulating ions of iron and nickel in highly conducted liquid region of Earth's core, this generate current and hence produce Earth magnetic field. So basically in all the 3 points, whether the gases are present, whether molten form hot ions of iron and nickel are present, whether Earth is rotating about its axis, it means whatever atom is present, it consists of charged particle and it will rotate about its axis, leading to current, which will produce magnetic field. So these are the causes of Earth magnetism. And moon has no molten core, so it means it doesn't have any magnetic field. But Jupiter has fastest rotation, so it has strong magnetic field. So basically, depending upon the rotation speed, magnetic field can vary. Now terrestrial magnetism or geomagnetism, this is geo related to Earth. So it is a branch of physics, right? It is dealing with study of magnetism of Earth. So terrestrial magnetism, it is a branch of physics which deals with study of magnetic behavior of Earth, magnetism of Earth. Now let me introduce small terms. Geographic axis. Geographic axis, it means a straight line passing through north and south pole of the Earth. If this is the Earth, and this will be taken as geographical axis passing from north and south pole of the Earth. Then magnetic axis. Magnetic axis, it is a straight line passing through magnetic north and south pole of the Earth. It means within the magnet, if a line that is joining north to south pole, that is taken as magnetic axis. Magnetic meridian, few terms we are introducing because in the coming topic these terms will be used. Magnetic meridian. Magnetic meridian, basically it is a plane, it is a vertical plane passing through this magnetic axis. This is the magnetic axis. So if this is a magnetic axis, so vertical plane passing through this magnetic axis of a freely suspended magnet, then we take it as a magnetic plane. So in simple terms you can say it is a vertical plane. Geographic meridian, like if we have defined magnetic meridian, there must be geographic meridian. It is also a vertical plane passing through geographic north and south pole. Right. Now here magnetic axis, geographic meridian, magnetic meridian, these terms will be used in next point. So if I will take this as a Earth, then, and this is geographic North Pole and this is geographic South Pole. So this straight line passing through these two, this is geographic axis, and here pole near geographic North Pole of Earth is called North Magnetic Pole, and the pole near geographic South Pole of Earth, this is called South Magnetic Pole. But magnetic North Pole and magnetic South Pole, this is not coinciding with geographic, but it is tilted by some angle, that is 11.3 degree. It varies from place to place. Now next topic which we are taking, that is magnetic elements of Earth. Just we have to give a brief description of this Earth magnetism and magnetic elements of Earth. So basically, what are these magnetic elements? See, magnetic elements of Earth at a place, these are the quantities which describe completely in magnitude and direction magnetic field of Earth at that place. Basically, we are referring to different quantities which give information about magnitude and direction of magnetic field. This can be, what can be these three elements? These can be magnetic declination, right? Declination, which we represent by theta. Next is magnetic inclination. This is also termed as magnetic dip, which is represented by symbol delta. And third is horizontal component of Earth magnetic field, right? Now let me introduce these three. We have to just give a brief account of it. First of all, magnetic declination, right? See, as this is taken as a small angle between magnetic axis and geographic axis. This angle is taken as magnetic declination. Like this I have taken. Small angle between magnetic axis and geographic axis. This is the magnetic declination. Or if I will draw meridians, that is, if this is the magnetic meridian, a plane, vertical plane passing through magnetic axis, and another, if I am taking like this, this is the geographic meridian. So here the angle between these two, this is taken as your magnetic declination. So either you express it in terms of axis or you express it in terms of meridians, one and the same. Basically it arises because fictitious axis of bar magnet responsible for Earth magnetism does not coincide with axis of rotation of Earth. This we are saying, this we are assuming this is the fictitious axis of Earth magnetism and it is not coinciding with geographic axis, that is the axis of rotation of Earth. So due to it, we are saying that there exists magnetic declination. Next element is magnetic dip or magnetic inclination. Basically it is, how can we take it? As if we take, like this is the geographic meridian and this is the magnetic meridian part, if I am representing like this, right? This is the part of that. Now this magnetic dip is defined as the angle which the direction of total strength of Earth magnetic field make with horizontal line in magnetic meridian. That means this particular angle is magnetic dip or magnetic inclination, right? What is it? That means the angle which total strength of Earth magnetic field subtend or make with the horizontal line in magnetic meridian. Just we have to do its definition only, as it is measured by dip circle. Next is horizontal component. Horizontal component, if we have to take, see in the same figure, if I will resolve this R, total strength of earth magnetic field, this component will be R cos delta and this will be R sin delta. So horizontal component, it is the component of total field strength of earth magnetic field in horizontal direction in magnetic meridian. In simple terms, you can say this R cos delta is the horizontal component of total strength of earth magnetic field in magnetic meridian. So now here, if horizontal component is R cos delta, so what is this R sin delta? This will be taken as its vertical component. So if I will divide equation 2 and 1, so V upon H will be tangent delta. So now here, if I want to find total strength of earth magnetic field, so if I will square and add these first and second equation, we will get R square cos square delta plus sin square delta. This will be equal to H square plus V square. So in simple terms, R is taken as under root of H square plus V square. So these are the formulas, this formula and these will be used in numericals. Now there can be one conceptual point. This is important. Sometimes in 1 mark or 2 mark this discussion can be asked. What is it? As at magnetic poles. See, at magnetic poles, dip angle is 90 degree. So, corresponding to it, what will be the horizontal component? Will there be here horizontal component? No, because cos 90 is 0. It means only vertical component of earth magnetic field exists at the poles. That means we can say earth always has horizontal component except at the poles. It means for the earth at poles there is no horizontal component, there is only vertical component. It means at poles, if a freely suspended magnet will lie, where it should stand? It should stand horizontal or vertical, because at the poles only vertical component is present. So it means for freely suspended magnet it will stand vertical. This kind of question can be asked within 1 mark. Similarly, at magnetic equator. At magnetic equator, angle of dip is 0 degree. So it means H horizontal component exists and vertical component does not exist. So it can be concluded that earth has vertical component except at the equator. It means equator पे vertical component नहीं exist करेगा. It is existing at all the points except equator. So likewise, if a freely suspended magnet will stand horizontal at the equator. अगर equator पे हमने कोई magnet freely छोड़ेंगे तो हमेशा कहाँ lie करेगी? Along the horizontal direction. Now, horizontal component of earth magnetic field at a place is 3.6 10 raised to the power minus 5 Tesla. See, horizontal component means H has been given in the statement. And dip of place, that means angle of dip is given to be 60 degree north. Obtain vertical component and total intensity of earth magnetization. So see, this statement is quite simple. Let me check what are the given factors. Horizontal component is given to be 3.6 10 raised to the power minus 5 Tesla. Angle of dip is 60 degree. What we have to find? Vertical component and R, that is total intensity of earth magnetization. So here H is R cos delta. Now delta is given, H is given. We can easily calculate R from here. So it is H upon cos delta. 3.6 10 raised to the power minus 5 cos 60 degree. Cos 60, what is its value? This is 1 by 2. So it will be 7.2 10 raised to the power minus 5 Tesla. Right? Now H, from this H we have calculated R. So second point, what has been asked? Vertical component. So this vertical component is R sine delta. So now put the value of R as well as sine delta. It is 7.2 10 raised to the power minus 5 sine 60 degree. Now sine 60 degree is, this will be under root 3 by 2. So what will be the answer? 3.6. This is 3.6 under root 3 into 10 raised to the power minus 5. So it means 3.6 root 3 10 raised to the power minus 5 Tesla. It will be the vertical component of earth magnetization. So that's all in magnetism, because now few topics have been deducted. So we have covered up to this point. Revise all the concepts. Today video we have covered that all was theoretical concept and brief concepts have been discussed here. So revise all the concepts, prepare the previous topics also. Thank you. Have a nice day.